Welcome to Cake with Kersi. I'm your host, Kersi. Your other host, Kinetic, is on the
What's
line.
up?
What's up?
Up we here.
We're here Tuesday, June 13th, live to air right here on vexradio.com. It is 9 p.m. We're here every Tuesday night at this time. And of course, you may be listening to the podcast, um, which you can listen to at any time. And I'll give you more details um, about that for our live listeners who maybe can't stick around with us because we do tend to go on and on and on for a little while. But actually, we're here for a couple hours usually, so 9 o'clock. And we do have a guest joining us tonight, the founder of Malcolm's Choice, which is a new service online available to service providers, retailers, and which helps us consumers as well with our shopping needs. So we're going to get into that, find out about the history of that and how that all came about, and with the founder shortly on the show. Vexradio.com, best place to listen to the show. We also air on our YouTube page for some people who are a little more into that. So the link is available on vexradio.com if you want to share it. I'm also about to post it, which I haven't done on my Instagram, my social media. So if you want to tell a friend to join us, we will open up our phone lines a little later to take some calls. And yeah, once we get into some other topics of the night, I guess we should just talk about the most the biggest news right now buzzing around in the basketball world anyway. NBA Finals.
Yeah, boy.
Final game last night.
Called it.
You
Said,
did?
yo, Golden State in five. Durant being MVP.
You did.
The best player
Yeah,
on the planet.
to
I'm
some.
boasting.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even be humble about this. People do not test me when it comes down to basketball. Exactly what
Listen,
it is. Take my word. I will make you money.
yeah, yes and no. I mean, like I respect you. You called it, but at the end of the day, it was a guess because, I mean, whether we believe in the whole, some people believe in the whole theory of the league being rigged, things being
Yeah.
planned, or
A little
if
bit of
yeah, or like one slip of, one little slip here and someone ends up on the bench and they have to push it to a game 6 or possibly game 7. But yeah, you were I mean, some a lot of people had a sweep. I know that. I know a lot of people. I gave them one.
yeah.
I said at least one, possibly two. I gave Cleveland, but I mean, I was being generous,
Uh,
I think, when I said that. Um, but yeah, the hope was real though with certain people. And one of our former guests, our past guests, Cool for Life, poor, bless your soul. he he's one of these
I
serious. He's
I
one of
went
the
in on him.
right.
Shout out cool for life. But I was like, he goes, LeBron James still the king. I go, I mean, he's still the king. So I go, what you mean, KD?
Right.
Right
I
after
saw
KD,
that. I think I saw
like,
that post. I was like, "You're so wicked." But really, it's like I'm telling you, you just got some diehard fans, some believers. And I mean, I get it. It's LeBron, someone you can really believe in. And but I also say, and I mean, a lot of people say, one man, he can't do it on his own. And as
but
much,
but no, I hate. Listen, I hate the fact
mhm,
that all these people are that were in the beginning, oh, he's the greatest, he's a champ, he's this and that. But as it's like you got to be consistent with your theories or your whatever it is. Listen,
mhm,
they are the NBA champs.
mhm, mhm.
what had happened was that this is just redemption. All of it, they were not supposed to win last year. They weren't the best team. Golden State was the best team. The refs helped them get that championship. So with me, y'all, what's called again, Calvin and LeBron Beehive, come for me. But what it comes down to is that they did not. This is just an asterisk. It's supposed to be Golden State should have 2 back-to-back rings right now.
Right.
If it wasn't for the refs,
well, then they would have. Two back-to-back before this one. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying Golden State should have blew that 3-1 lead, whatever it was, a 3-0 lead, whatever it was last year. You know.
Yeah, 3.
But it was a lot of reffing help. It was a lot of refs help, and when it comes down to there's an asterisk on it. They you know what? They should have back-to-backs. Cleveland Cavaliers, as I stated, were not the best team. LeBron James, I've always stated, is not the best player. And I'm going to say it again for the record, is Kevin Durant. It's just because he got injured why everybody was like, oh, you know what? He's not the best. LeBron is, because LeBron was winning championships and breaking records. Remember, Kevin Durant was injured. Because Kevin Durant is the best player on the planet. He proved it during this series. That I don't care if he went to, what's it called again? It wasn't like, like Miami that was contrived or like Cleveland that was contrived. What happened? You got to remember the difference between LeBron James contriving his microwave championship versus Durant. Durant went on a team that was established, yes, but the Splash Brothers were put together old-fashioned way, like how Boston did it, how Chicago did it, how the Lakers did it. And then he went and joined a team, because remember, there's 2 things that you always have to remember. Whether if it was okay for LeBron James to do it, when all you Cavs fans were raving, oh, it's the best team is okay, then why is it not okay for Durant to do it? And Durant didn't do it the way it was contrived. The Golden State has a cap, just like every other team. They made it happen. They dropped players. They made room for him. And he went on a team, and he took a lesser salary to go on a team to win a championship. They played within the rules. Super team or not, whatever it is, if it was okay for LeBron James, it's okay for Kevin Durant. I'm not saying this. I'm a fan of that idea, right? These microwave teams, these microwave championships. But at the end of the day, if it was, for LeBron James, it's okay. Durant proved that he's the best player in the NBA right now, and he's going to start breaking those records. Now that he may stay with Golden State, he might move on, whatever it is, but the fact is he has a chip under his belt right now. And you got to remember, it's Kevin Durant, Westbrook, Curry, LeBron James. Even Curry was, what's it called again? He played phenomenal that series.
Which one?
He was out.
This past series?
The whole series.
Oh,
yeah, the whole series.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When he was out, they lost that one game. The conspiracy theorist in me tells me that
that's why
they honestly lost that. They lost that game, the last game, not the one they just finished the championship game, but the 4th game. They lost that on purpose because since 78 or whatever, how long ago Golden State won, or 68 or whatever it is. No team has won a Bay Area since that last championship team. To be honest, I still think they could have went for the sweep, but I think they just want to win it, make history, and win it on a whole turf. That's me personally. I don't think LeBron James and all them guys, because it was proven it was a good game. It was close. It was hype. It was like it was the ingredients. It was the right mix, the right cake mix of everything that you want in terms of it being competitive. But to be honest, I personally think it was contrived. They knew they had it.
Cleveland. You're talking game.
Yeah, game 4. I think Golden State lost on purpose.
Okay. I mean, we could say that. We and I see why you say that, and what's my take on that? I don't know. I mean, they came out, they played. It wasn't a very close game because they had the lead. They had a crazy lead for, most of the game, if not all of the game. They took it.
But look at
But yeah, but I mean, was that I like, I'm not going to argue with you with that to say, but was it not? I mean, was it not possible for Cavs to actually beat Golden State? Yeah, it is. I mean, were they going to beat them enough to win again with Durant? No. Like, I was very confident about that. But to say they couldn't take one or two, I wouldn't put my head on the block for that. You know what I mean?
Well, remember, before the series even started, when we were talking, I said it's going to be Golden State, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Cleveland Cavaliers in 5.
Mm-hmm.
There was no doubt in my mind. I just knew on paper, based on just basketball facts, is that both of them are 3-point shooting teams, but Golden State is a way better shooting team than Cavaliers. And the fact remains is that LeBron James doesn't drive unless he's dunking. Kevin Durant was built for that. Golden State has a better defense than Cavaliers on defense. So the fact remains, and again that Durant is a better one-on-one player than LeBron James. Like, LeBron James can't stop Durant. Durant can't stop LeBron James, but LeBron James is less of a player than Durant. Like, it was proven time and time again that Durant was killing him. The man went straight 30-plus point basketball game. So it just shows you that Durant was a slightly better player. And in basketball, like, it's like people say, oh, it was only by 6 points or 5 points. But if you do all the things that Durant did, he was responsible for 14, 15 points just himself. Like, if he altered a shot, if he whatever it may be, is just whatever it came down to, whether it's rebounding thing, the 14 to 15 points in a one game was Durant. It's not 0.2% or percents like people are saying. They got to understand it's the cumulative of all the things he was doing that showed his dominance. People say, oh, it's only 10 or 22%. That means the world oh yeah, we actually had a debate on that. You're saying, oh, it wasn't that by that much. I say, no, you don't understand. It's not that it's 0.2% or three things. What it means is that he has 3 baskets more than him. That means he had 6 more points than him. And then he has 5 rebounds versus 2. That means that he has 2 more. He stopped 2 more baskets. So again, that becomes 10 points. And then if he has a block, 2 blocks, then that means, he has now 14 points. You see how that adds up quickly?
No, definitely. I mean, one non-call or bad call can change a game. Like, the result of that, or what, and then what happens after that, or the fact that a player remains in the game or is taken out of the game, that changes. I mean, that's slightly different than what you're saying, but every one little thing like counts in a game. I get it, and it has it doesn't represent just that one basket. I get what you're saying. It affects the overall game bigger picture, like in more ways.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's institution.
But my thing is, I mean, I'm not, and I don't get into this, and I talk to some serious like ball players and ball fans, and I always come to this conclusion. I guess what? I've never played the game. I don't have a certain type of passion or a certain outlook on it as certain people from that vantage point, like as a player, or someone that studies the game. And I think even most of the people that I speak to who come from that point of view or from that world or that angle, it's still very hard to apples for apples, like every player, put one as the best ever and cancel out another. I mean, a lot of people can agree on Jordan, like people can do that with Jordan, but because different players bring different things to the game, and a slight difference might give someone a little edge over another player in one way, but then when you look at what another player brings, that balances them out. So, and I just think of all the people in the game and the greats in the game currently, to say one is the absolute greatest consistently over everybody, I don't get into that too much as I can. But I look at, but then you have to start looking at other things, just stats and numbers but even that, I just think.
That's how you quantify. That's exactly how you quantify it, though. So it's
But
stats.
some people do. But then you know what? Like, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and his thing. I said, okay, famous question when you are comparing two, you say, okay, if you had to pick one player for your team, and where he chose Jordan over LeBron, and that's the discussion in his mind. That was the the comparison is he feels Jordan for his mentals, just his mindset, and he thinks he believes he has a better winning mindset, like, and he'll hold the ball and control that versus passing in certain moments and like clutch moments and stuff like that. And a lot of people, and for some people, they reduce it to that, like in certain key moments, like, do you show up and what do you do? And for some people, that's the deciding factor. You know what I mean? So, and you can't, and I can't argue with a man if that's your belief.
That's fine. But you have to be quantitative. That's the problem. In terms of how okay, I'm not gonna say you have to. How I approach the game is this, right? Is everybody says whether Jordan's the best or LeBron's the best, and the way I look at it is different era players.
Yeah, that too.
Right
now,
it was a different basketball time, different calls, different, the Jordan effect, versus the LeBron effect when we're talking about roughing them now, the veteran calls, things of that nature. Those are all factors. But what it really comes down to is what it's not one isolated, or isolated events that make you like simply say it's a matter of chips or championships, because it's not a matter of championships. Because again, did the refs help LeBron win one of those refs? Did he microwave those two? Like, you know what I mean? It's not about the unquantifiable aspects. The only way you can ever be consistent in everything is to measure it. And what it comes down to is that, for me personally, it's the quantifiable facts that matter. LeBron is breaking Jordan's records, but Jordan held him for 20 years. 50 years. But then people can argue and say, well, LeBron came in when he was a kid out of high school. So he has X amount of years to do. But I'm going to say, but the thing is, you got to remember something. It doesn't matter when you come in, it's when you come in as a professional. The second thing is that all those players for 20 years, 30 years, all those dominant forces had a chance to break these records. So it's just a testament to how great Jordan is, but it also is a testament to how great LeBron is. Because now I'm trying to tell you right now, LeBron is going to break every one of Jordan's records. That's a 100% fact. At the rate, as long as he doesn't get injured, LeBron James is going to be the new era Jordan, because the league needs a new era. The kids don't identify, Kobe was supposed to be it, but now the kids, they need a new hero. Jordan is our generation. Generation X. Generation Y needs their own Jordan. And what's happening is LeBron James is going to be that. He was coined, he was marketed as, that, and then we've all believed in it, and he's now living up to expectations. Remember, Jordan, now has his man body. He's always been a beast, but he's in his prime now. So get used to the idea that Jordan's records are going to be eradicated by this kid. By the time LeBron James is finished, Jordan is going to be number 2, number 5, number 8 on the list. He's not going to be the man. So get used to that idea. You know what I mean? Like he was passed as the third most, Jordan is now the third most, whatever it was, like just in scoring in NBA titles. LeBron has still got another, 5-10 years to go?
Okay, let's put he has some years, but you know what? It's inevitable. Like over time, there are people breaking other people's records, and that's just
meant to be broken.
And we've had this discussion before. I think the idea of a one player, one Superman in the league I think that we're past that. I think the new generation and the generations to come won't buy that and eat it up as easily. I think that's an old concept in marketing overall. I just people can't be
Well, we're more
It's
athletic.
different. It's different.
Yeah.
And I think, but
we right now though.
what's that?
We have, but you got to remember, this generation of athlete is 20 times more athletic than the Jordan era. These kids, you remember, we evolve as humans. That's why there are Usain Bolts.
Well, I
People
think that's a
say,
little extreme, 20 times. I don't know about evolution moving that
but
quickly.
okay, but let's look at it
I
though.
mean, no, I mean, but and I'm not going to get into that because
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know the science behind the human
No, I'm
body.
just saying, look how longer players are playing longer than than most players.
Yeah,
Tim Duncan, 19 years in the league. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Guys
I
are
mean, the
out
rules
after
have
10,
changed too. People
13.
can argue that the rules have changed. The game is not as
But they're
contact.
more,
You know what I mean? Like the littlest touch is a foul. Like versus people used to get
yeah,
banged up a little
they're
more.
a
And I
battle,
mean,
yeah.
so I mean, it there are a lot of things that change around the game, and so I wouldn't put it all on just the advancement of the human body. And then and even in that way, like what people do, post game, like all these ice baths and just different things that they do. Not that
But
ice, I mean, ice has always been around, but there are other things that now aid and help in people prolonging their careers and
that's what I'm
just
saying. That's science,
knowledge overall. And
yeah,
some players, like I saw
right.
Kyrie speaking about about LeBron and his respect for him as a player, and on and off the court, and even just to how he takes care of himself, his body
Yeah.
and his mentals and stuff like that, and how he approaches life in general. You know what I mean? And I think the more we know, so yeah, I get that. But I
But no,
think
but I'm saying if you just think about it now, though, right? Look, just think on a human. Forget an athletic level. The average height for a male was 5'8". For males now is 6'2". If you think about it, all these kids, which short kid have you seen in the last 15 years, because of the growth hormones and steroids, all that they're putting into the meat, into their bodies, are creating these super beings now. The reason why, LeBron James, his genetics are phenomenal, and that's why he's a Superman amongst boys. But the fact remains is all these kids now, if you look at the average height of any 14-year-old kid, they're 6 feet plus.
Yeah,
Which
but
short,
I mean,
which short kid do you see in our era? Like basketball players, like, to be honest, I think they need to raise the 12-foot net to 14 feet now.
Okay, but you look at
Because
Isaiah
it's just too
Thomas.
easy.
Isaiah Thomas, what is he? He's not 6. He's not
No,
what is he?
of course not.
He's a shorter guy. Like, so no, I mean,
I'm
and
on a general
no, I
level,
mean,
though.
we could speak about that, and yes, I get it, but again, I think um I personally, I just look at it and say, um the game, it's a team sport.
Mhm.
I mean, as far as this, because this coming down to the debate between Durant and the
LeBron.
the excellence of LeBron versus uh, uh, KD. I hate when it gets brought. I hate when this finals get brought down, reduced to one-on-one, and one player pitted against the other, and who's the better one, because it's a team sport. And
So no.
one
Yes and
thing
no.
one thing I heard, and I actually posted the video not too long ago on my Instagram page about with LeBron when in his post game press conference, where he spoke on the idea of the super team, like which you just mentioned, and which I'm like, okay, LeBron, which one is it? And I thought maybe this wasn't the best time for you to speak, but he was asked about Miami being a super team and now him going up against this super team, and LeBron kind of halfway rejected the idea by saying, I don't really believe in that, and I didn't play for a super team, but I'm playing for a super team. I believe we are a super team, meaning the Cavs. So I'm like, okay, which one is it? So you wouldn't call Miami a super team, but you're saying you're on a
Well,
super team
we all
now.
know that's BS. Like, he's just trying to make it seem
Exactly. You know what I
man.
mean? And
He played for
then
a super team, but one player, you put Durant or LeBron James on the Raptors, automatically they're a championship team, or at least a contender. You put,
mhm,
like one player, a elite player, does make the difference. If you have, like, think about if we had both DeRozan and what's the call again? DeRozan and LeBron on a team, or DeRozan and KD on a team. On our Raptors, just those two players alone are putting up 60 points.
I agree, but I think there are certain
That's how
big players and superstars that don't necessarily have the same effect as others. And that's where I think the greatness kind of where they do shine a little. And that's one thing when I look at LeBron's legacy so far, every team he's been on has gone as far as, well, not as far as they can, obviously not in every circumstance.
Listen, he's the greatest number two. He's the greatest number two player in the history of the game. That guy gets to the finals, and it's because he's an elite player. He's a fourth player. You know, technically, to me, he's the fourth best player in the NBA right now. That's just my theory. Overall, to believe it or not, he's the sixth best player in the NBA to me in history. But that's that. But
in history, I thought you meant in current.
Like, say Wilt Chamberlain, like, you know, all those players, like, you know what I mean? Magic, like, you know, all those players. He's like the sixth best player in the NBA in history. But I'm not a LeBron James fan based off one thing only: his character. The fact remains is that he left. He couldn't do it on his own. He left his team to go win a championship with four other guys. Pardon me about the Steves. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that.
No.
Yeah, the fact remains is that he left. And, you know, he didn't do it like the old-fashioned way. I'm a big fan of the old-fashioned way. Like, you know what? You trade for your players, you build your team, you know, like, you know, and you go win your championship, and you don't leave until you do. You know, to me, I would still be a LeBron James fan if he didn't pull that Miami stunt. If he if he stayed there and they traded up and they did it the old-fashioned way, 100%, I'd be like, salute. But LeBron James microwaved his championships. Every one of his championships to me is a microwave championship, has an asterisk on it. If he wasn't helped by the refs, it's because he had his super teams with him. At the end of the day, giving him this, though, and again, this is just my opinion, you know, Beehive or LeBron Hive, whatever you want to call it, it just comes down to it, is that to win a championship, it's an impossible thing. To do it continuously in 10 years, to win 4, I gotta salute you. I gotta rate you on that. You are definitely a factor. You're a consistent factor. You're a common denominator in that fact. So it shows your dominance. As a player, I rate him individually. As a leader and as a, you know what, he doesn't make his team, like, I've said this before, and people have argued with me and said, look, you know what, when LeBron James is winning, you cannot stop that freight train. But he's been exposed time and time again. Every time he loses, he becomes an assist first scorer. He assists everybody, he passes, he throws the ball, he swings, he makes it. He's learned to disguise his lack of, when they learn how to slow him down or, you know, stop his game. I'm not saying that you can stop LeBron James, but when you can slow down his game or disrupt his game, he becomes an assist first guy. It's not that he's making his team better because I know I'm going to get off. It's because he knows he can't contribute the way he's supposed to, so he distributes the ball. No power forward is supposed to be distributing the ball. It's supposed to be scoring and rebounding. That's it.
Okay, lost you. Sorry, no, you just paused for like.
I said no power forward is supposed to distribute the ball.
You see, and I'm hearing you, and like I said, right to your opinion, but I think the same argument, those same words and what you're saying can be used for somebody if you want to, because a lot of great players in different positions are shut down in different circumstances. And if you can still find a way to be effective, you could still find a way to basically get the basket and win a game, even if it's not you shooting it, that's great. That's greatness in itself. Like I think,
No, but here's no, but here's you
and
remember.
so I mean,
LeBron,
that
but
to
think
me,
about the
no,
position.
no, no. But I'm just. Let me tell you that. So to conclude, I just think that's a weak argument because if you were for LeBron, that would be a great trait
Yeah.
to say. Even when they try to shut this man down, um,
Mhm.
he still finds a way, and he does it through his
But
team.
and
And that's
here's
how you're
my
supposed to play.
rebuttal.
And no,
Right,
and
here's
no,
my
no, no, no,
rebuttal.
no, no, let me just finish because I had the same conversation I had with the whole Jordan talk, and I said, and that's the same thing that people can argue for or against a Jordan or a Kobe, ball hog doesn't pass. But and then if they do,
He's
so
not
it's like
supposed to. That's the point. That's the point that I
no,
was about to
but
say,
some
though.
people,
His
do argue that they
okay.
hold the ball, and there are perfect shots where even if they get that shot, there would have been a better one to a next man, but they didn't
Mhm.
give him that. And you are someone who believes that if you are the so-called star player and you have the ball, it's in your possession, you should always make the play. Like maybe that's
No, no,
your outlook,
no,
and another man doesn't see it that way. So.
no, no. Well, as I said, you have to quantify, and here's where the clarification comes in. When it comes down to it, the position dictates that my job is to be a shooting guard, a point guard, a center. You have your position, your role. When you're a power forward, your job is to do 3 jobs and 3 jobs only. It's to rebound, score, or alter plays, like clear room for like your your point guard to distribute that ball. Your job is not to distribute. That's the playmaker, the floor general, the person that's supposed to be assisting is one and one person only, not a team. It's supposed to be one and one person only, the point guard. When you swing a ball, when you're doing sets, and I'm calling from being a player. I used to play ball, right? But the fact remains is maybe not professionally, but the fact remains is the job is when you're doing set plays, you know what? You're supposed to be swinging balls, things of that nature. When you're doing plays, of course, it's a team contribution. But as a point guard, you're supposed to assist. LeBron James' job is 3 things and 3 things only: shoot. If you can't shoot, yes, you pass the ball, but not to set up. You're not supposed to get more assists. And this is where I'm saying is it's 100% fact. This is not my opinion. No power forward is supposed to get more assists than your point guard. Done talk. There is no more argument after that. It's shut down. As that song says, shut down.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about him being what's the call again, he's not making his team better on purpose, but he's saying his job is to, if he can't take the shot, to reset, send it back to your point guard. But
Well,
and you got
I
to remember, he has a ball hog. As you said, ball hog. His job is to get the ball. It's the the point guard's job to get it into your power
I
forward.
think LeBron is a different kind of player, and that's his greatness, is that he's not your typical power forward. Like he is and this is the beauty of him. And whether you want to use that against him or for him, the fact that he can play so many roles on the court and change up, switch up, and whatever you want to attribute it to is like, oh, he's shook, he's in the moment, he's gonna pass because what they shut him down, he can't do it. What, like, I mean, that's from whoever's point of view. And I think I'm not like I just think he's a great player, and I think he executes. I
No,
think
he's
his
elite.
numbers overall speak
He's
for
elite.
him. I think
Yeah.
he carries his team. Without LeBron, Cleveland would be I don't even know if they would be in the final, like in
Of
the
course not.
playoffs. So
Of
I
course
mean,
not.
I can't take anything away from this man. I've said my stuff on him as a person. Like I don't know him, don't really care to,
Right.
but as a player, like I think this man,
The man is phenomenal. He's a top elite player. He's definitely in the top 10
and
players in the NBA. But he is What you got to remember, his job dictates that he holds the ball. You call it ball hog. No.
LeBron's
Kobe
even the damn
Bryant,
coach on the floor. So you know what?
yeah,
He's
he's
just
a general.
passes. He just does everything. So
No,
that's just greatness to me. And
no, but you got to
but I'll
remember,
tell
it's
you,
pass the ball to LeBron, let LeBron do what he wants to do. That's
there
what
you
it
go.
comes down to.
Hey, hey, and it
But
works.
this,
It took them
but
this far.
yeah, but that's my point. The point is,
Because
though,
I
at the
mean,
end
when
of
you
the day,
look at some other players who I mean don't score until the third quarter and have maybe 2 rebounds, and that's kind of what they're there for. It's like, okay,
role
someone's
player,
got to
yeah.
step up. You know what I mean? And I'm
Well, you know
talking
what?
like
Perfect
your
example.
number 2 earner on the team, Kevin Love. Like, hello, where was he? So
But
it's
your team is affected. Like, you know what? What are you gonna understand, right? One of the best players in the NBA. Listen, one of the greatest basketball minds wasn't a full contributor. Believe it or not, as a role player, is the one of the best players of all time. There's two of them for me. Paul Pierce, but the one I'm talking about is Charles Oakley. People don't understand how intelligent of a basketball player that guy was. And his
and I
job
think
wasn't
they
to
should all
score and do
be.
all the things.
I think they should all
Huh?
be. And I think they should all be.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, we do, even with me saying that about LeBron, I think everyone should study the game and understand it. And I mean, when you think of the millions of boys and girls for the WNBA who play the game, love the game, aspire to be a part of it, and I think once you reach this level, which is the elite, like the highest you can go in the U.S. and Canada, you should go in with a lot of sense of the game and knowledge, and so
Yes. Yes.
and not everybody does, but I think that's something that that's what separates you from someone playing on the street or playing for a hobby or whatever. This is a job. These guys are getting like how much mil a year? Like these contracts are ridiculous. So I mean, the least you could do is be um knowledgeable of the game and but I not to take away from Charles Oakley and what you were going to say, but I'm just saying as much as I'm impressed by it, it's kind of like I kind of expect that. But there was something else I was going to comment on.
We
But
have a
our
guest.
guest has arrived, and again, we are speaking to the founder of Malcolm's Choice. And I'll just tell you, like, we actually connected, and this is the beauty of social media. We actually connected online, and it was me coming across Choice profile on Instagram and reading it, starting to follow, and just a little intrigued as to what this is all about, and
Right.
reached out and yeah, definitely wanted to just wanted to learn more about it and share. I think and this is another thing, another part of the show and what we really like to do, not to just run our mouths here, but to really spotlight, like I said, just people doing amazing things for the community, for society in general, and so this is what we're doing tonight with. So Jody, or
Yes,
am I calling you
yes.
Jody Ann or Jody? Because we're
You
seeing
can
the
call me
Jody.
Jody. Jody is
Okay,
perfectly fine.
okay.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, thanks for making the time. Welcome to Cake with
Thank
Casey
you.
and Kinetic.
Thank you. Hi,
And
Kinetic.
Hey,
I'm glad we
nice to
finally
meet
connected as well. It took us a
you.
little,
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a while.
but we're here. Okay. Hearing a
Yes,
little.
okay.
Okay, I hear you better
So,
now, I think.
yeah, you can hear me well. Sorry, I'm on the go, but I definitely want to,
Oh, okay.
yes, I
Okay.
definitely want to make the time to be here.
Oh no,
So,
for sure. So let's start by telling us a bit about Malcolm's Choice.
so basically
Uh-oh.
in the,
Oh,
am I
sorry, you
getting
just
disconnected?
no, you were just mute for a second, your mic, but now you're good. You're good now. We hear you.
It's something that I definitely saw was necessary in the marketplace. Personally, I was always trying to look for Black-owned businesses, and I saw that there was the need for a platform where consumers can connect with the Black business owners in the city of Toronto or just across Canada, period.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I just enjoy supporting my friends, my family, and people that are in the community trying to run a business for themselves. And I understand it's a hard thing to do. So there's always the need for marketing, and that's just what I really want to aim to help with the website.
Okay, so it's an actual website then that
Yes,
you,
it
okay.
is an actual website.
Mm-hmm,
So business owners can go on the website and register a business listing.
mm-hmm,
And it basically shows all their business information in one place, as well as customer reviews.
mm-hmm,
So I mean, you just want to choose the best business when you are looking for whatever service you may be looking for. So if you're looking for somebody to renovate your basement, let's say, for example,
mm-hmm,
you want to research that ahead of time and make sure that you're getting the best service possible and connect with that business owner on a platform. Basically, I mean, everybody has Instagram, everybody has social media, but if you're looking on social media for um yeah, I mean, somebody to renovate your basement, or a real estate agent, something like that, it may not be the best place to get all the information in one place just really fast. So
mm-hmm.
that's basically what it's all about.
Yeah. And then what type of businesses do you list on the site?
We're looking to list all kinds of businesses. So people that are offering apparel, financial services, marketing services, so business to business or business to consumer services. It's
Mhm,
mostly service-based businesses, so that the business owner can definitely promote themselves on the website, as well as get their customers to put the reviews on. I think that the review portion is a big part of it.
mhm,
Yeah, because most people, they research a business online or research products online, period, before they go out to the store and try to purchase them. So it's just a way for them to get all that information, all the research that they want to do about the business done ahead of time before they actually go out and spend their money.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah.
So primarily, your company, and I'd like you to name, what your website is to just to simplify it, and please forgive me, I'm not downplaying it, but just to simplify it, it's a business hub site, or is it a business hub marketing site?
It's a business hub marketing site. So, yeah, it's mostly for marketing, and not, I wouldn't say really development, but marketing to the consumer. I think there was the need that I saw was the need for them to be able to connect with consumers, because you can definitely show yourself on Instagram or the other social media. And don't get me wrong, my website does connect to all social media, because you can't you can't operate a business right now without being on social media. But
mhm,
um, basically, it's just a way that all the information can be there all at once. Like, you don't have to scroll through posts. It's not a complicated algorithm system where you have to constantly be posting information for customers or people to get the information about your business
to
right
see it.
away.
Mhm,
Yeah, because you're not visible unless you're posting constantly on Facebook or on Instagram, right? But if
mhm,
somebody does a simple Google search, let's say, for whatever service they may be looking for, to get all the information in one place without and it to be constantly ready without you posting anything, I think that's where the missing link was for the consumer connecting with the Black business owner.
mhm.
So what is your difference with like a competitor, like one that we may be more familiar with, like there's one that says Black, well, let us give it a promotion, Black Pages. What is the difference between you and Black Pages?
Well, the main difference is that we're just focusing primarily on being a business listing website. There are other websites, I would say, like one that I'm more familiar with is buyblacks.com. And I feel like they're geared more towards being a magazine or providing general information about being Black in Canada, which is great. And it's a great platform. But I think the main difference is that our only goal is to be a business directory, so that you can go and see information about the businesses and find out about research about the business before you go out and patronize their service.
I'm
Mhm.
sold.
And I mean, the review aspect of it is huge. Like that's something I actually I think about a lot of things, but a few years back, I thought about it
Yeah,
because it is so important. It's and I, as a consumer, um, or even business to business, like when I'm searching something, I'm always interested in seeing what other people have to say about the business, the service.
absolutely.
But and it's funny, I was watching a program on television just this weekend, and they were discussing false reviews and
Right.
these people who basically make a business. I mean, you hire them to review your product, service, place of business, whatever,
Mhm.
and they say all great things. You know, they have
Right.
the story to back it. So, how do you plan to kind of sift through
Safeguard
and make
against that?
sure,
Yeah.
yeah, to try to ensure that the reviews are real and the
Yeah.
people are real?
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
everybody that's registering to leave a review on the website, they do have to sign up with a legitimate email address, and then
Okay.
every review is like read and tested before we post it officially on the
Ah,
site.
nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I like that. Yeah, because sometimes you're going through the reviews and then you're seeing a bunch of other ads, or you're seeing profanity. You're seeing a bunch of other stuff, and
yeah.
then it's like halfway through, you're just not even halfway. Like you scroll a
Like you
couple
read the
times.
first couple.
Yeah. And you're like done. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So going back now, Malcolm's Choice, first of all, the name of the site, can you share with us
Well,
where that came
everybody,
from?
yeah, everybody wants to know that because I mean, my name isn't Malcolm. My name is
Right?
Jody.
Exactly.
To be honest, I just chose a name that really alludes to or gives you those connotations for feeling like important Black figures in history. For
Mm,
instance, Malcolm X. I think that most people, as soon as they hear the name, they think immediately Malcolm X. But I mean, that name just for me, it signified or gave me the feeling of just a important Black figure in history. And
mm,
I mean, really, if you think about it, what was Malcolm's choice? His choice is to stand with and support the community or the I mean, Black business or Black
mhm.
community and Black culture, period, right? And I think
True.
that's really what we want to promote with the site. We
Wow.
just want to help Black business owners create stronger, more sustainable businesses that are going to stand the test of time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now,
Ex
you is malcolmschoice.com is
Hmm.
just to give you a shout out. Is it it's Afrocentric, but is it exclusive? Like, can other nationalities, or is it just a thing of color? Or is it just basically geared towards exclusively to Black-owned business?
Okay. In terms of the business owner, it is geared towards only the Black owned business owner being able to promote their business online. But in terms of the patrons, it's not geared specifically towards Black patrons only. I mean, of course, you want to sell to everybody. You don't want to just say, I only want to serve Black people or whatnot.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the reason why I didn't choose a name that had Black in the title of the website. I chose a name that kind of it is inclusive. It is inclusive and it doesn't deter people of other nationalities from visiting the website because these are great businesses, whether you're Black or you're not Black, and we want everybody to be able to see what they have to offer and shop with them or spend their money with them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, how long has the site been up? I think you just recently
Yeah, well,
launched,
actually,
or mhm,
we've
mhm.
just launched this month, so we're still in the very beginning phases of getting
Okay.
everything
Mhm.
live and getting building the listings on the site. So we're really
Yeah.
trying to get some more listings so that we have a really useful list of businesses that everybody can go to and find information about. Yeah, so
Right.
we've just launched this June. I did a small pre-testing launch just second week in May. That's when we really started promoting the site on Instagram or social media, and through word of mouth. So it's
Mhm,
just been
mhm.
about less than a month now.
Nice. Okay. Now, and I asked that because I mean, it might be early, but have you received any backlash or any negative messages to, in your inbox, any of them, about this being uh, for Black-owned businesses exclusively? Have you had any of
I
that?
received
Mhm.
I received one comment, and the one comment said "assistant." That's actually the only thing that it said. It didn't bother me too much.
It
I
said
mean,
what? Sorry, I missed that. Sorry.
it said racist. That it was a comment,
Oh,
and it
okay.
said racist. That was the only thing that is said in the comment.
Okay.
And you know, it didn't bother me too much. People are gonna, not everybody is gonna understand, but the way that I see it is, we live in a society where things are not Afrocentric. Things are, I guess,
Mhm.
you know, other culture centric. If I walk into Shoppers Drug Mart and I'm looking for a product, let's say for my hair,
Mhm.
it's a small section, and everything is actually, I find it overpriced. And it's a small section out of the whole store where I'm going to find something that's geared towards me or geared towards what I need for my personal care. So,
Mhm.
in that case, I just think that it's not an Afrocentric society, and sometimes you need to highlight or showcase what products or services may be geared specifically towards you and your needs.
Mhm. No, it's
Yeah.
true, and I mean, you say that with our
100.
products being a small section amongst the quote unquote normal
Yeah,
or regular
exactly.
products, that on when you look at, like, talking hair care, let's say color,
Yeah.
you look at all the boxes of hair color or something, and 96% of them are Caucasian, and then you
Right.
get one box with an Asian woman, another box with a woman of
Exactly.
color or whatever. I have yet to see like an Indian woman on a box, unless she happens to
But
be a huge Bollywood star or something. You know what I mean? And
no,
so,
I haven't
and
seen
it's
that
funny
either.
that people don't walk into the store and think that's racist. That and when
Exactly.
you look at most of the magazine covers and and
Exactly.
and other products, I mean, diaper bags, you know what I mean? Like, you
Exactly.
always have that one um child of another race, but I mean, the majority of what we see has been what we're so used to seeing it, and so anything that goes against that or offers an alternative, and we call it this and label it and put it out
Right.
there, seems to be going against the norm. And I mean, I applaud you for doing it,
Yes,
Well, thank
because
you. Thank you.
it's needed, and
Yeah.
it's not
Uh,
always, I mean, you put yourself in that position to receive
Right.
things like this, and I'm sure, I mean, hopefully not, and even if you do, you could brush it off as you've done the first one, but if there's more to come, I think the good that the site will do will
Outweigh the bad.
exactly, and be worth
Yeah.
it all.
But
So
there
Yeah,
is
go
no
ahead.
bad though. Like I was saying, there is no bad because you got to remember, it's like I'm a strong advocator and proprietor of that. Each nationality is responsible for the promotion and well-being and maintenance of their own people first,
And I agree with that. Yes.
right? Because what has happened is that, what you got to remember, in the totem pole things,
what
we
happened here?
are
Oh,
the second
okay.
last. Yeah, sorry,
So we just
we're the
paused.
second last.
Oh, I'm still
Okay, so
listening. Sorry.
yeah, I was gonna say no. That's somebody else came. Anyway, I distracted. I said we're the second last on the totem pole to quote unquote promote our industry or our own. We're just getting now into business and finance and things of that nature.
Right.
The Jewish
Exactly.
people have done it. The white people have done it. The Indian have come and established. Everybody else have the Chinese. They have their communities and they promote their business,
Exactly.
but it's not noted as a negative stereotype. All
Yeah.
we're doing is following suit what people have done before. But the fact remains is that why people, I think personally, this is just my opinion, why
Mhm.
people believe that when black people do it, right? And I hate to use that, as I keep on saying, I hate to use that term black,
Right.
not a color, but when black people do it, it's because we're such an influence. Like, we are influencers.
Mm-hmm.
We are also liquid money, but we are influencers. We have a heavy influence on the rest of all nationalities. When we do something, it carries weight. So therefore, the weight, the gravity of what we present or we set trends to dictates later on within 2 years. It always becomes negative when we do something. Rap music was negative. Now it's being played in stores,
Mm-hmm.
like all over. Like you cannot go in a store now and not hear trap. Like, it's do becomes trend. So we have such a heavy gravity, like our weight is so heavy that when we put something into perspective and start promoting it and focus it within our community, then it's deemed as racist or whatever it may be. And remember, the rulers dictates the I guess dictates the course of what is happening, or the course of the influence. So right now, it's quote unquote a white society, um dictated or ruled. So what happens is that basically we are the direct quote unquote opposite of them. So of course we're going to be the rivals. It's the Batman versus Joker effect, the Superman, versus Lex Luthor effect. Oh, I guess we
Mhm.
lost her. Yeah,
Oh,
but
really? Oh no.
yeah, oh,
Sorry, I
she came
wasn't
back.
on.
So yeah.
Oh,
Or
okay.
or the Prince and Michael Jackson effect. Or in order to be great, you always have to have two opposites, and they have to rival each other in order to advance each other in a sense.
I
So
think to your point, and I mean how I take it all the time is that a lot of these other groups, these nationalities, race, however we want to categorize, um, their success and the bulk of their success, financial success, comes from us.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
we
that's true.
are huge, like you said, influencers, innovators, consumers, and our dollar is huge. And we see these posts, and sometimes I stop and say, if we understand the power that we possess as the Black consumer,
Right.
and every time we make a decision to support a company, what we are doing as a collective. I mean, as individuals and then as a collective, when we look at our celebrities and our stars over the years endorse different products and
Right.
or feature different products. We saw it in the beginning before product placement was huge and everything like that, and we saw these guys drinking certain things or wearing certain
Hmm.
jewelry, shouting certain companies out, having certain clothing designers on their back. And that glimpse, I mean, without being told, we ran out to the point where some companies were overwhelmed by it and thought we were actually, taking over and going to exclude their other client base.
Right.
And I think so understanding what we possess as a people, and I mean, it doesn't matter what income bracket we're in, what kind of disposable income we have. If we want it, we get it. And I think the other groups recognize that. And when they see us now recognizing that, if we could keep our money or if whoever the competition is to them, but um, us now understanding that and being able to spend the money and collect the money that's being spent, that
Yes.
directly takes from their pockets, and that's the biggest fear. And I think the fear runs deep in so many ways with us. But I want to know a little more about you, and because a lot of us think these things, have these ideas, or can recognize it. Like I said, we see a post, it makes us think a little,
Yeah.
but we don't actually act on it. But I'd like to know more about your background and how you got to the point where you actually felt that you needed to be the one or one of the ones to launch a site like this and get it going right here in Canada.
In Canada. Well, I mean, about me, basically, I'm just
Mhm.
passionate about business myself. I feel like I have, that entrepreneurial tick that everybody is feeling nowadays, and
Okay.
I, I've explored different avenues myself, and I've never really joined or started something that clicked with me that I really felt extremely passionate about.
Mhm.
And as I've been growing up, getting older, and experiencing different things, I feel that I'm just really Afrocentric. I love our
Mhm.
culture, and I love everything about just being black. I like
Mhm.
that. In those two things, I've just combined my two passions into something that I felt definitely was needed. Like I
Mhm.
said, I try to support Black businesses whenever I can, and as I'll actually tell you the story on how the idea actually came into my head is when I was buying a house here in Canada and I was looking to use a Black real estate agent, a Black mortgage agent, you know, whatever services I needed for purchasing my house, I wanted to use somebody that was Black because I just wanted to support
Wow.
somebody in my
Mhm.
community. And I
Mhm.
actually had a hard time locating those services. I didn't have people around me that were able to refer people to me. Like, you know, everything works through word of mouth, and I was unable to find somebody to refer. Hey, you know, here's a real estate agent that I used. They were really great.
Mhm.
Whatever they wanted to say about the real estate, I was unable to find that. And maybe there are other, I felt maybe there are other people that also are in the same situation like me, and they want to do this, but they're just not having the resources to locate the people they're looking for, and it's just not explicitly stated somewhere. So I felt
Mhm.
that's really what took me to this point, I would say. And I just went for it. I also read a lot of posts, and the most posts I read are about it, like inspirational posts. They're all saying, you know, just go for it. You never know until you try, all of those things. And I just figured, why not? You know, the worst thing that could happen is somebody will say no, and you just got to let it roll off your back and keep going. That's the way I see it.
Mhm.
So you are Toronto based or are you Canadian? Like, where are you located?
Well, I'm located personally in Brampton, but Toronto based, GTA based, yes, in Canada.
Mhm.
Now,
And
is that the idea to promote Canadian content, or is it just worldwide? Are you not? Are you starting? Is there sections, phases? Like, is
Yeah.
it Toronto based first, then we're gonna go, like America, or is it province to province, then America, then the rest of the world, or are you just going wherever it is?
Well, definitely, I felt the need was more in Canada because I do see some great companies that are also doing similar things in the States. So I definitely want to stay Toronto GTA based first as we are starting out, and definitely get all the businesses here listed. And then from that point, I want to expand to Canada first. And then from Canada, if the business lends itself to it, I want to expand worldwide. Why not?
mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so definitely Toronto first, and then expanding to the rest of Canada, or GTA and then Canada.
I love your tagline too. We got your black.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can tell you a little bit more
That's
about
so.
yeah,
that.
please do. Please
Yeah,
do.
well, when the thinking that I had it with that is when you say that, you know, when you look at somebody, you say, "I got your back."
Yep.
What are you really saying? You're saying, "Look, I support you completely. Whatever
Mhm.
you want to do, I'm here for you." And definitely, I wanted to say that to the Black business owner, but at the
Yep.
same time, I felt like it was two way because it also talks to the consumer.
Exactly.
You're looking for Black. We have your Black,
We
so
got
it's
your black.
working.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
double meaning. No, I
that
love it. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely that's the tagline, and yeah, that's where we're going from here. You
Yeah.
know, um, right now we're trying to get as many businesses listed as possible. So,
So tell us about, and I
mhm,
wanted to touch on, I don't know if it's still going, but you had
mhm.
a promotion going for businesses that might be interested in using your service. Is that
I
still
It is still going.
okay? Okay.
So we have a subscription based service. So there's a free business listing, then we have a like a middle option, and then we also have a premium listing option. With the premium listing option, you're going to get the opportunity to put photos as well as video attached to your listing with
Mm-hmm.
direct links to all your social media and your website. So with that, um, usually, you know, I the cost is $100 per month, but as we're starting off and we are just going to be launching, we're
Mm-hmm.
offering that service absolutely for free for anybody that wants to sign up during the month of June. So this is our
Nice.
launch month, and so any business that is registering on the website during this whole month, we're going to offer that service for free. And I know maybe it sounds like $100 a month, but it's very comparable with similar websites. Like if you look at Yellow Pages or HomeStars, which is mainly, you know, the level that we're trying to build the website to, it's
Mm-hmm.
comparable. I mean, for HomeStars, they're charging $250 for their top subscription package. So
Mm.
uh,
To be
different for
You're
what
honest,
already
you're.
coming in. Mm-hmm.
yeah, just to be
Sorry, go
honest
ahead.
though, yeah, just to be honest though, I don't believe that your service needs to be explained or undervalued. It's, you're providing a valuable service, and you know what,
100%,
the
yes.
that have tried to advertise those routes will see. I mean, that's
Exactly.
your
Well,
prices.
thank
Like
you
if
for
if
that.
you're it's just whatever it is, right?
That's right.
We
Exactly.
always I just find that, you know what, and this is the comment.
You
I
sound
just
like a
find that
robot too.
we
Okay.
always tend to do that. No.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Does that sound better?
No, you're much better now.
You're better now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I
No,
just
it's
find that
true. Yeah, what you were
we,
saying, we tend to do that.
as undervalue our business and justify
Yeah.
our prices to one
Yeah.
another. It's like my personal philosophy in business is I don't care what black, white, pink, purple, blue, or Chinese. If you're not supporting this, like there's a certain thing that if it's not for you, if you can't afford it, it's not for you, then it's just not for you. Right?
Okay,
At the end of the day, I'll
perfect.
still promote you. Yeah.
Perfect. No, I agree. So I'll
Mhm.
stop doing that.
No, and I think you know what, I think that is
Absolutely.
I think that is common. I mean, there's a combination of being new and starting out. I think,
Right.
you know, there's a bit of that saying, okay, will people actually get it, accept me? And I mean, being able to offer, I think that's very common. I think a lot of companies do offer a um, you know,
Introductory type rate.
exactly,
Yeah.
rate or price and
Just
stuff like that. And I think to be competitive or to I mean, hook people, right? Like that's a
Exactly.
smart thing to do. I mean, it goes back to like the old school way of having samples in a store, you know what I mean? Which is still
Exactly.
being used to this day. You offer something, you bring people in, and that's how you get them. But I think so I think being new, I've started a couple of businesses in my life, and I think I do remember feeling that way. And then when you are dealing with people, you know, because
Yeah.
usually that's where you start with your immediate circle, and you kind of expand as grow from there. And I think when you're dealing with people, I mean, you know, in the last few years, it's called the friends and family discount. But
Right.
you know what I mean? For businesses, small business, like that's just the regular price in the beginning. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Because
Yeah.
who you're dealing with, and but I think a business like yours and a directory and a listing is makes it puts that stamp on it, like, you know, I'm a professional, I'm taking my business seriously, and
Exactly.
I'm presenting it in such a way that I want you to look at my business as what it is, for what it is, type of thing. And
Right.
I've had a business going, and um, I've had a site and had to, because of hacking and all this garbage that happened, had to get rid of it. And not having my site, and when people, you know, ask me about prices, and I'm like, you know, and then
Yeah.
you know, you're giving someone a price, and then you're wondering, okay, how are they going to accept it, kind of thing. And then
That's true.
but I know the importance of and this is why I'm in the process of getting this back up and going, and this is why I want to
Mhm.
talk to you. But it's you know, it's having something there in black and white or whatever, and having something official, so when someone wants information on my company, okay, this is where you can get the information, and
Precisely.
we'll go from there. But you know what I mean, so they don't think I'm just pulling prices out whatever
Yeah.
part of
Out of
me.
thin air.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or like, yeah, you look like you can afford a little more or whatever. You know what I mean? Or,
Right.
you know, they can try to, like, you know, look at me crazy if I tell them a price on something. It's like, no, that's the real
That's
price.
what the
That's what
price is.
everybody
Yeah.
else sees, and that's what you're expected to pay, and you know, go from there, kind of thing. And so I think and I think too, it's, the other part of that, you know, like, is, so I mean, that was more speaking on, like, you know, how we put ourselves out there. But I
Yeah.
think as well as consumers, you know, going to our own and respecting our own as legitimate business owners,
That's right.
and willing, and you know, willing to pay that money, because there are certain stores and companies and services you go to, and you can't hassle, you
You
know, you
can't.
can't
Exactly.
negotiate them and talk them down to
Yeah.
the price that you're comfortable with. It's either you're going to
Exactly.
do it, and you know, I'm going on because I have a lot to say, but but at the same time, a lot of people they take this pride in being able to show that, what, I just walked into this high-end store and spent all this money on a pair of jeans or a tube of lipstick or something.
Right.
But they turn around to their friend and want to cut the price
Discount, yeah.
halfway. You know what I mean? So it's like we got to do better too, people. Do you? I'm just curious to know, being a professional in this world now, do you hear that, or even in your personal life, do you hear people speak ill of Black-owned companies, saying, not professional, or people not wanting to cater to?
Yes, this is actually something. This is also another reason why I was inspired to create the website, because it is common stereotype or misconception that Black-owned businesses don't treat their patrons correctly, or there's so many different things that I've heard. Even today, I had somebody sit down next to me and say, if Black-owned businesses or Black businesses wanted people to shop with them, they should take better care to treat their customers correctly. Most of the comments I hear about customer service, and I feel personally, I think that's simply just not.
You're mute.
Sorry.
Here you go.
Yeah, you got me. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. And so if you go to a business and you're enjoying the service, you want to spread that with everyone, so everybody can know this business. It's a Black-owned business. They have excellent service, and perhaps you just haven't heard about them, or perhaps that information just isn't out there the way that it needs to be, because that misconception or that stereotype about the businesses, that's what I hear mostly. Yeah, and I don't like to hear that, because I think that it's simply not true.
Yeah. And I think the expectation, I think part of that is the expectation of people thinking that you walk in and, because we're part of the same group, automatically you're supposed to get this, like I said, this extra, discount for being Black or something. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking black to black, that type of thing. And or and I mean it does go both ways, because I've witnessed it where I've gone into certain businesses and the way the person behind the counter or something might speak to someone who's not of our race might be a little different, because they're like, ooh, this is, they're a little more valuable having a person that looks different, because now maybe we're reaching, I'm thinking this is the thinking behind it is now, they're used to a different standard, let's say, or we can, I mean, maybe they're being extra smart about it and saying we can reach a different demographic now, so we got to really put our best foot forward. But our people, we got them already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're gonna come regardless, so we don't have to do anything special for that.
Right. But then on the flip side, I mean, I go into certain Asian owned supply stores, and they don't treat us that great. I mean, as far as
we're still there,
and that's who is there. You know what I mean? Exactly, filling the store.
Exactly.
And I mean, between the way they watch, the way they, and there's no customer service. I mean, they stand behind the counter just ready to collect your money. And I mean, you ask a question, it's like, how dare you ask a question about, can you return this, or you can return, you know what I mean? And so I think, and I'm like, but you go back in a month to restock whatever product.
Exactly.
So I just think we're so much harder on ourselves, but I think, again, having a legitimate place where we can
platform,
that we can find this information and not necessarily, I mean, referrals are the best form of advertising, but I think having a legitimate, like you said, platform that can vouch for a company and put them forward, I think is very much needed here in Toronto. And we're kind of late.
Yes.
But
we're a little behind.
Yeah, but better late than never type of thing.
That's true. That's true. So
yeah.
That's basically what the aim of the website is, and I really hope everybody supports. I mean, list the businesses. I'm trying my best to do a lot of business development right now to get all the businesses I personally know. If you know any business personally, I mean, recommend them. And word of mouth marketing is still going to be the number one mode of marketing, and I think it's just a way to transfer that word of mouth or referral online onto a digital platform. So it's not just word of mouth, but also your referral is digital, and somebody can see it. It's reaching a lot more eyes, maximizing the amount of people that can see that good referral recommendation.
Now, what is your 1 year, like, if I'm gonna spend $100 with you a month, what what comes with that $100?
Well, exclusively what we're doing, we're just focusing on gearing all our advertisements and getting the eyes on our website towards your target audience. So your target audience may be, if you're selling, let's say, beauty products, natural hair products, it is the Black consumer. So we're targeting constantly marketing towards those consumers so that you're getting more eyes on your business, on your reviews, on everything that you have to offer your services. And that's our number one focus. So another website, their focus may be on having a magazine as well as a business directory or whatever else their other focus might be. But our number one primary focus is the business listing, the business directory, and making sure that you're getting eyes on your business and what you have to offer.
So again,
now that you're doing that for us,
no, go ahead.
I was saying, now that you're doing this for us, what is it that we can, as a new business, as a new launch, what is it that we can do for you? You've already stated that word of mouth is one aspect, and advertising with you is another. What is it that you may need, or is there a service or something that help you accomplish, or like what is it that you need for us to do for you?
What I would say is I'm still learning. I'm still a new startup. So if anybody has expertise, maybe where I don't have expertise in just developing a business or launching a business from the start, I could use a mentor, or I can use any advice, frankly, on how I can make the service better and how I can produce a better product for the business owners as well as for the consumers, what consumers are looking for, as well as what business owners are looking for, so that we have a product that everyone finds useful and it's actually doing what it's meant to do.
Now, how do we get in contact with you?
So contact me on the website, info@malcolmschoice.com. You can reach me at my personal email, j.campbell@malcolmschoice.com. And also hit me up on social media. Instagram, it's @Malcolm's Choice. Facebook, @Malcolm's Choice. All of those platforms, as well as on LinkedIn. You can find me just through my personal page on LinkedIn. That's Jody Ann Campbell on LinkedIn. Okay, so all of those areas.
I think the easiest way right now, so it's malcolmschoice.com, and I think we can all just start by sharing the link and tell
100%.
a friend to check the site out, and whether it's to to list your business or to find a business. And I think that's the other part too. And I think if we start using the services that are listed there and supporting they'll see the value in it, and and stay on with you. And yes, keep pushing it, people, because I'm going to be listing my business there soon.
Yes, and it is for the business owners.
Yeah, so but we'll be talking, Ms. Jody Ann, and
100%.
I mean, I'll definitely do my part. I think it's amazing. It looks good. I mean, I've only gone on the site on my phone the day I discovered you, and it was clean. I was able to check. The information popped up. It's clear. So it's working.
Everything works.
Yeah, it works.
I just want to make something very user friendly. Yeah,
definitely. It's clean. It's easy, and I mean, where it goes from here, who knows? And because I mean, all of the sites that we use now are that are huge. They started out you know, um,
Exactly.
in one
Yeah.
way, and you learn and you grow and you move from there,
Expand from
and
there.
so
Exactly.
yeah, so I applaud you
Well, thank
definitely,
you so much.
and thank
Yeah.
you for doing this, because I think and I think there is a need, and I think there are a lot of people who want to support, and it's not as if, and I want to be very clear about this, because even with the products that um I sell, and I think with mine, which is more in the beauty
Yeah.
end of things, uh, when you open your bag or open your beauty you know closet or whatever, I think you can see a mix of products, and whether they're um you know the brands that we grew up with, brands that
Right.
are owned by the major labels and or
Mhm.
companies, or the Johnson Johnsons, the L'Oreals, the uh, Estee Lauders, and I think we can all coexist. And I don't think for some people they prefer to be
Right.
exclusively, you know, whatever it
Yeah.
is. But I
Yep.
don't think that, and I'm saying, I'm speaking to people who may not um, be black, or however you want to term us,
Yeah.
or that by pushing or suggesting or making it easier to find our businesses and services in no way means that we as
We're
consumers,
taken away from them. Yeah.
right, and we can't also use other companies and services and products
Of
that
course.
are served by
Available. Yeah.
other nationalities. And I think that's the beauty of Toronto, Canada, where I mean we're it's the one
A
of the most
multicultural
multicultural cities,
society.
so you
Yeah.
can't get around that, and I don't think we have a problem with that. And so I would hope that other people don't feel threatened by it and
Threat.
will welcome it, and yeah, and just accept it as
And
a part of
everybody, exactly. And it's for everybody. I mean, a
as
good
consumers. Yeah,
yeah, a good general contractor is a good general contractor, whether he's black, white, orange, you know what I mean? And I just want
hmm
to help somebody promote their service and take it to the next level. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys, for having me
No,
on. I
thank
really
you.
appreciate the time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And we'll, like I mean, I always say, but this in this case, we will be following you and checking in and seeing the growth, because I'm sure it will be amazing. So we're wishing
Thank
you the
you.
best of luck. And
Thank
again,
you.
people, it's Malcolm's Choice. Look them up, follow,
Malcolm'sChoice.com.
sign up. That's it. Oh my gosh, malcolmschoice.com.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, go to the
Yeah,
website. Thank you
that's
so
the site.
much. All
All
right.
right, take
Have
care.
an
Thanks
excellent
again.
night. Bye bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, so
That was
um
malcolmchoice.com.
yeah, no, and like I said,
Promote the site.
yeah, we'll push it, and I yeah, I love discovering. This is like the highlight of what we do here. I love discovering these new services and people doing amazing things, because yeah, and doing our little part to push. Uh, and I think you know what, and we need to take a little more pride in what we bring to the world and what we serve the world. And like I said, it in no way is taking away from what other races, nationality, whatever um, groups of people are doing, because I support, I mean, if a company, if a store, a service has what I want, I don't necessarily check who owns it, which,
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, if I think if I can, to support certain groups.
Well, yeah, my philosophy is this, right? I don't I it's kind of like, you know what? My approach is this. It's and the coin or phrase has been deemed liquid money. We're black liquid money. Once we get a paycheck,
Mm,
within 10 minutes, they said it's even 8 minutes, we're already in the store spending.
mhm.
Okay. We don't look to invest first. We are consumers. We are 100% consumer population. Other companies, they get money, they go invest first, and then they spend their profits. Whereas we are instant gratification oriented. So as soon as we get a paycheck, we go to the bank, the ATM, we pull the money, and then out of convenience, because we are conditioned to be consumers, we go spend at the closest store possible versus going the extra block or extra mile to go spend at our own. And as I stated before, pardon me, is that I believe just like every other race, they support their own without like justification. I'm not sorry. I don't or find it that I have to, um, justify that I'm going to go spend it or promote my own people. That's what I'm supposed to do. So we need to get out of that mentality and get into the mentality that if I'm going to be a consumer, let me promote. I mean, let me support my own first. Now, if the company I'm supporting doesn't give me the service,
Mm-hmm.
it's not my obligation or duty to continue to support them. But it is my duty and obligation to let them know what they did wrong and to fix it so that I can continue to support them. So it's not a matter of whether, I'm going to a black owned business or a white owned business or a thing. I go for service, but it's my duty and responsibility to promote and patronize my own people first. That's just my personal belief because every other race is doing it. Spanish people do it, white people do it, Jewish people do it. Every ethnicity in the world except for Native Indians and Afro Americans or Afro Canadians don't do it. We are still consumers. So at the end of the day, what it comes down to, I'm not justifying whether I'm going to support it. It's my right I work for my money, my time, which is the most valuable thing, which I'm not paid fully for. I can spend my money anywhere I choose to spend it. I work for it. They didn't give it to me. Once I get taxed, whatever is my, after expenses, my passive income is mine to spend. So we need to, as a people, just need to stop getting out of the mentality that we need to justify owning black. And what we need to do is exactly what you said. We've stated many times in the show is stop justifying why our price is this. Who wants to come. Who doesn't come. And you know what? It's not that we're excluding other races, but we're not doing anything different than any other race by supporting our own. So
Mm-hmm.
when you come and support me, I thank you. You know what? And I also, remember, it's not that I'm only black or I'm service oriented. So again, if you go to I'll go to a company, like quote unquote our Jamaican food stores. Every time I go, and yes, it's a stereotype, and there's been memes and jokes about it. But every time you go to a Jamaican food store,
The
they have
attitude
a
of the.
screw face, they're kissing teeth. Me not have none of that, or you know what, or whatever it is. Like what it comes down to, as a consumer, instead of just accepting it, what you're supposed to say is, look, you know what, I come into your store, I expect to get this. You're offering you offer this, but you never have it. You need to correct that. Else, I'm going to another place that does have it. But we
Mm-hmm.
justify out of convenience, right? And we patronize out of convenience, and that is the problem. We're not Afrocentric in our ideals. Case in point, when you think to go on a vacation, you think of every other country but Africa. The only thing is like, a lot of people what will say is, I'd rather go to England, or I want to go to the Caribbean, I want to go, China or wherever it is. Has anybody really thought outside of seeing South Africa or maybe Ethiopia or maybe you know like Egypt? Other than that, how many countries that there's on that continent? There is what, 50 countries?
I don't even know.
How come we're not saying that I want to go?
Yeah.
I want to go. Huh?
Well, I'm the opposite of that. I've actually
Yeah.
said the opposite. Mm, and I
Well,
haven't
that's
I
because
haven't
it's
explored the
unconscious.
world. No, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, but at the same time, I know, just to touch on that, part of it is when I go, I want like I want to be with the right people and know to go to the right places. Like if my thing is, um, I don't want to do like the touristy visit to certain places. I'd like to get out, explore, go to like, explore the proper nightlife. And so so every time I get close enough to someone who is from either Ghana or Nigeria, I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna need a legit host and someone who can like show me the right way and take me out and treat me right. And I want to be in one of those houses with the pools and stuff. You know what I mean? I get all, and you know, but then there's a hefty price tag to that too. But I mean, it's all doable in one day. But no, back to what you were saying as far as not, you know, not feeling the need to explain and feeling like it's your responsibility to support. I totally agree, but part of my decision making is when using a service or more for products is price as well. And I
Right.
mean, that's where the huge companies kind of can edge out smaller companies because, you know, they deal with so much
Buying
higher
power.
volume that they can offer sales and reduce prices and everything. But if it's, you know, I think to support and truly support, sometimes I think, you know, if it costs that extra 99 cents or a dollar, whatever, I think we should start thinking. And I mean, there's an extra step with me as a female. And so when there's a female run business, that there's, you know, that kind of touches me a little more too, to say, okay, I think, especially a Black female, you know what I
Strong
mean, here.
advocator from
Yeah.
exactly. Strong
And then
advocator promoting
Canadian. And I
female.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think the other point of us now supporting our own, as far as being Canadian, you know, versus, you know, people ordering from American websites or saving their money to exchange and lose on the exchange to go to the States and buy, you know what I mean, when you can find great companies here providing great products. So, which I hope you know, we plan to and hope to feature more of more entrepreneurs and people who are selling products and have services to offer as well, sorry. And so we're going to be featuring some here too. And so hopefully we can make some more connections with them and malcolmschoice.com to, you know how we do. We're always trying to connect behind the scenes, always like trying to connect people to people and our past guests and everything like that. But
We're good people.
yeah, we are, aren't we? And we Black and we Jamaican. No, I'm kidding. No.
I'll speak about that.
Lord.
We lost.
What?
I'm just letting everybody know we lost 3-1 to Peru again in the friendly, in the soccer match.
Oh.
So Reggae Boys just didn't do it in the friendly. And Costa Rica is one up on Trinidad and Tobago. Cup chase, and currently they're in 6th place. So come on, Trinidad, you're my only hope.
Okay, I don't know what that means. I did see your post.
In the soccer, in the soccer.
Those one, I know. I just scroll past. I'm like, what is this?
You don't know soccer fashion. Come on, man. Football.
I know. I don't though. I don't follow. But it's beautiful. But speaking of Costa Rica, I heard it's beautiful there. I've been. That's on my list. But again, I wouldn't just. I would need to know somebody who knows somebody, or know a good person, to plan a proper trip.
Shout out Simon. Simon's out there for years. He used to be promoter with Meet Me with Mesfin and Waihe. I don't know if you know, he was English oriented.
No, I know Mesfin, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, Simon, he used to promote with Mesfin, so.
I know someone else too, but
yeah. And
yeah, apparently she doesn't have much space, so I'm like, okay, that don't help me. It's not helping. Yeah. But no,
shout out Trinidad just scored. I just have to say that again.
Oh, they're playing now. It's live.
Yeah, it's live right now. It's
where?
So
what time are they playing? How late do they play, or how early? Like, where are they?
Well, they're currently in 36 minutes in, so now it's 1-1 Trinidad.
Where are they playing?
And they're playing right now as we speak.
Where?
In Costa Rica. I said
it. So what time? No, I didn't hear that. So what time is it in Costa Rica?
Yeah, there's 90 minutes. So I don't know. They're playing currently right now. That's all I do know.
Okay. Well, we are gonna let you go. Focus on your game, I guess.
Yeah.
No, but I'm curious to know what the time is. Oh, it's 8:30. Okay. They're 2 hours behind, 8:38 p.m. Okay.
Oh, are they? Yeah.
That's still early enough. But yeah, I don't oh no, there was something else I wanted to touch on as far as the oh no, but we didn't I didn't read up, but I don't know if you saw that Golden State you know, the 2017 NBA champions, as a team have made a decision to not do the customary White House visit where they go as a team to
for Trump.
meet the
Wow.
president. Yeah. And I mean, Steve Kerr, I don't have his quote, but he was quoted to basically express his displeasure. I don't know what the word is. But he was not, he didn't feel Trump was the man to run their country, and he made it very clear. He made that known. And so I think, yeah, it would have been kind of awkward to see him greeting this man, shaking hands or doing anything. Yeah, he basically said he was ill-suited for the job, basically. And I think the rest of the team, I can see why the majority of the team.
You know what? No, to be honest, I have, it's going to be a very controversial statement or opinion on that. I think at all whatsoever. You know, I mean, I think again, but it was a better alternative to Hillary Clinton, believe it or not. And I think America's going to get exactly what they voted for. You know, so they're going to get their just desserts, in other words. But I think certain traditions shouldn't be broken just because you don't like a leader. Doesn't mean that, you know, the NBA represents a country. There might have been some players on that team that, you know, voted
but it
for
was
Trump.
unanimous. No, they as a team, they all decided that they did not want to. Yeah, and so in this case, and I hear you. I get what you're saying.
It's just one of those things where I just think that, you know what, it should be done regardless. It could have been a 5-minute visit. You could have made your statement. Like, you not going is one thing, and it won't be publicized, but use that platform to voice silently or otherwise your displeasure, or, you know, you could have made a statement. Like, it would have been covered by, you know, international news, right? So it's like, to me, there was a loss.
I think the bigger statement. No, I think the bigger statement.
Oh, well, if it's not covered, then it doesn't matter.
No, I mean, I found out because every news outlet had mentioned it earlier today, saying Golden State unanimously voted to skip this customary visit, and everybody finds that news. And I mean, I actually agree, and I think in this, sometimes, yeah, silence and not showing up and not going ahead with the BS, like the regular, you know, and I think that's the loudest way, because you go, I mean, it's a photo op, you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's, you go, Trump says his stupidness, like he probably knows nothing about the game, the finals. I don't know if this man likes basketball. He's probably going to just say something that was scripted and just, you know, like everybody cares to meet him and stroke his ego a little. And I mean, that's all that it would have been for him. I think taking that opportunity away from him is exactly what they need to do in this particular case. And I think that says a lot. And I applaud them. I applaud them for that. And and especially when you make a statement like that. I mean, Popovich feels the same way. I don't know which other coaches have made it, have come out and said their piece on not feeling him as a leader. And I think you back the talk, back it up.
Well, you know what? That's the beauty of quote unquote democracy.
Yes, that's it.
At the end of the day, that, you know, you're allowed to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
As I said, I just think certain traditions should just be played out. It's missed. As I said, I'm not a Trump supporter. but he was the lesser of two evils. Believe me or not, a lot of people don't realize that Trump is actually the lesser of two evils. And America, yeah, this is what I said. Just my opinion. But if you realize what has happened to Spanish and in our Americans, the last Clinton administration, you would realize that it was a blessing in disguise. And as I said, America is going to get their just desserts. What happened is that
I just think the powers that be. I think there's a plan. I don't know what I'm going to see in my lifetime, how it's going to play out, or how much of it.
Right.
And I mean, a politician, that's a small piece as far as pushing their agendas. And yeah, he just makes me sick. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll just reduce it to that.
I can't wait for America collapse.
Yeah, and I mean that's inevitable. That's
under him.
That's going. I mean, in time, and I don't know how long it's going to take and how it's going to play out. But it's going to get bad for. But anyway, I'm not getting into all that because I don't know. Right. I don't have it all, and there's different beliefs and theories, exactly. So but I must say I've been watching 2 shows, and these 2 shows, watching them back to back combined, like they have my mind going all kinds of ways. But between Underground, which
I still have yet to watch that show. I heard it's
yeah,
dope. I heard it's very dope.
It is, and I just like last week or the week before, I saw a post that they will not be returning for a season 3, which is breaking my heart. We're behind, so I watched it live. I mean, it airs Sunday nights here on, I think it's Bravo. Yeah, Bravo. Is that Bravo? Yeah, and it's already wrapped. Like season 2 is already finished in the US, but so I think there's probably just like 3 episodes or so left, and I can't believe, like I'm thinking, and I know they did not know that going in, so I know they're not wrapping it up, and so there's gonna be another cliffhanger, and to know that it's not gonna come back, like I'm already sad about this, and I just wish someone else picks them up and gets this going. But it's a great production. I love it. I mean, the actors, and again, for some people they're not going to watch it because it's another slave show and it shows all the graphic. But I think the story, there's story being told in a different way.
Right.
We get to know people. Yeah, it's not. No. Yes, and we get to know people as people, as individuals, and you see it's just crazy. But it's an amazing, like I said, the production on it and the music and just everything. How the only problem I have is some of them women, their eyebrows are a little too perfect, and I'm like, you did not have those eyebrows back then. But that's the only part that sometimes breaks my concentration. I'm just like, okay, now we're back in 2017 because that's not real. But
this is you being part of the beauty industry, so that's the problem.
No, but I think a lot of people will see that. But then there's that, and then there's The Handmaid's Tale, which I don't know if I touched on that before, but that's another show based on Margaret Atwood, the Canadian author, her book. I'm not going to get into that too much, but that's another amazing show. I think this is season 1. It's, man, and like I'm not a horror movie person. I don't get scared by all that stuff, but it's things like this that seem like this-ish can really happen, where women are stripped of their rights and and controlled, and just what could happen in this society under the wrong or certain people in power, and what they can do and how it can be done, by overthrowing the government or whatever. And it's just, planned and plotted and done. Those are the things that kind of freak me out, to say, I'm watching this and this could actually happen in the next, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, like, kind of thing. And it's supposed to be set in America, or what used to be America. They've renamed it, the different territories, areas. But it's actually shot here in Toronto. So, and there was a scene that was like crazy, and it was like down by City Hall. And so I was like, my gosh, it just seems so real. Like, it just seems like this could actually be the future. So I'm just like, I want to tell my daughter, just don't have any kids. Just let's be out, like, whenever this happens. But yeah, between those two shows, it just makes you start thinking about this world. And I've had the discussion before, like, could slavery actually come back? And you see all these other people alt-right.
Well, you do remember.
Mm,
You do remember, like, what people don't realize. This is actually a real fact.
okay.
Is that slavery is only an amendment. Is an amendment in America, right? It's not a black people don't have a
No.
right. They are amended by the president of the United States every 7 years. The Slavery Act. It's not a right. Their freedom is not a right. It's only an
Right.
amendment. So, but they've gotten so conditioned, used to the idea of this freedom, they don't realize that one president could veto that whole aspect. Sure, there'll be an outcry, sure, there'll be a thing, but it's not law. You're actually owned by a statement. When you get a birth certificate, you actually signed over
Yep.
your child to
To
the government of the United States or the government
Canada.
of Canada. We're a little more liberal, said, and again, but we're a little liberal. It's like a lot of things. People don't realize that your car, once you get it licensed, for your car to the province, they can
We're
come and pick
driving
up your
it,
car,
right.
and you can say, yeah, we're driving board material. That's why a cop can come and commandeer your car, and you can't say nothing about it.
Or your
People don't
license.
realize, they don't
Your
read the
license, yeah. And
yeah.
I mean, in this
Like,
show too, one of the scary parts is, like, they just shut down all the, female-owned bank accounts. They just stopped it, so they could no longer, they're trying to use their Interact, and it's like, or their debit card, and it's like, nope, sorry. So I mean, it's, yeah, like you said, the fine print, and really understanding who really controls what and what we really own. Everybody who thinks they own all these things that they acquire here, nah, you don't always. You know what I mean? And I mean,
well, you
once
don't own anything. You don't
the
actually
land you
own
build
anything. You
on,
don't.
exactly,
Yeah, it's just you own the air. You own the land itself. You pay taxes on.
right?
Try not paying that land tax and see if
Exactly,
they don't sell your house.
exactly,
You don't actually own anything. The
right.
government owns everything. That's
Yeah.
when people see me, right? It's really funny. The people that know me know I wear bracelets. And they think, oh, there's jokes sometimes. Oh, you're a freak, and which I'm so not. But it's actually a constant reminder. And I actually, what I do is I wear it purposely as twofolds. One is to remind myself that I'm a slave to the game until I free myself, both mentally and financially, right? As long as somebody's signing my paycheck, I am a slave. As long as I'm giving over taxes and money to the government, I am a slave for them. That's the first thing. The second aspect of it is I wear it to, when people ask me, "Oh, why do you wear handcuffs?" It's exactly that, to
Be
wake
able
them
to
conscious, to
explain
spark
them,
the idea.
explain to them, sorry.
Yeah, like, they don't have to spark the idea. I don't get into anything long, but just like a little spiel I had said is that to say, basically just a constant reminder to say, hey, that I'm a slave to the system. That actually sparks conversation,
No,
sparks ideas,
I've
and that's
never,
what I
yeah.
find. Yeah, I find ideas are more important now than actually telling people what to think. Is giving them the idea and let them spark the conversation, so they go research for themselves.
Exactly. I saw a post like that. I'm going to tag you in it on Instagram. I won't go into it, but something about not telling people what to or how to think, but just inspiring them to think, kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah, children. Yeah, I think I've
Yeah.
seen that too.
I
Yeah,
saw that
right.
today. I'm not sure who, I think it was
Yeah.
it. Yeah, anyway. But yeah, so on that note, I'm just going to remind everybody that if you liked what you heard tonight, if you missed any of the show, it is available as a podcast. So you can check vexradio.com, just click the Cake tab, and you'll see all of our past shows listed. Just scroll down, keep scrolling, because we've been doing it for a little while now. And you can check out some of our past shows. I always point out that the shows since February of this year, 2017, are most of our shows since February have been interviews with amazing people. So you want to check those out. And you can find the podcast on most of the podcast players: iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, definitely YouTube. Follow, subscribe to that page, and you'll get the alerts to when the show starts if you need them, because everybody has a million and one things to do nowadays. And listen at your own time, on your own time. And Vex Radio is also the best place to listen to hip hop and R&B, old and new school, and that's all day, every day, 365. So check them out. If you want to send a shout out or a request, just dial this number, 1-877-469-3016. Choose option 1 to send a shout out, which you record, and it will be played at some point throughout the show or the day. And if you want to request a song, you're making a lot of noise over there. Choose option 2.
Is it me?
Yeah. I don't know if it's the wind or whatever, but choose option 2 if you want to request. And the number again, 1-877-469-3016. We are back next week, Tuesday. I don't have the date, June something. It's almost the end of June though. This is crazy. And so we're back live to air. And so check us out. Follow us to stay up on what we're going to be talking about and who our guest will be. You can follow me, Cake with Care C, on Twitter, Instagram, and Kinetic.
iKinetic 100 on Instagram. That's probably the best place to get in contact with me. I just want to point out before we close, you know what, we've been, pretty well producing our guests and things of that nature, but what we haven't done is put it out to our listening audience. If you have a service or you have a company or a movement that you're doing, please feel free to contact us on IG or one of the other social media things, so we can get in contact with you and set up an interview and things of that. If we haven't actually promoted that or capitalized on that aspect of it,
True.
If it basically if it fits our show, we'll definitely be able to arrange something and get you on as an interviewee.
Yeah. And you can just send an email to cakewithcarec@gmail.com. That's the best way to get in touch with us now to do that. Or if you're on Instagram and it's easier, or Twitter, and you want to send us a direct message. I don't know if you check yours. I do check mine. Because
spotty.
What? I don't know why. No.
Yeah, exactly. What?
No, I check mine. I don't know about you, but yeah, Cake with Care C. So if you want to send me a message, if that's easy, I've actually reached out to people that way. Some of our guests and past guests and future guests. So it works for me. It's not all. Yeah. All that other stuff that goes down in the DM that's not mine. And I kind of just ignore some of those. I ignore those ones. So, but anyway, yeah, so that's great. Yeah. So contact us, or if you happen to know somebody that we should talk to, feature, go ahead and send us their information as well. 'Cause I have no problem reaching out to people. I'm that type of person. So until next time, next show, enjoy your week, people. And, meet us back here next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, live for the next episode.
Yeah, thank
and there's
you,
other things we got to talk about too. There's some movies and things that are dropping, and summer. What do you call them? Summer, whatever. I don't know what they call them. The bigger, blockbusters, and then another one that's coming next February for you. So we'll talk about that next show.
Yeah, boy.
All right.
Thank you to Malcolm Choice and Jody Ann for
Yeah.
coming on. So what is it? Malcolm'sChoice.com.
Yeah,
Visit them.
malcolmschoice.com. Check out the site and also follow her on Instagram and Facebook and so yeah, it's Malcolm's Choice. Malcolm's Choice. That's her handle, and I think it's cool. I think and yeah, I love the concept. So
yeah, they got your black.
She got me.
And
yeah.
we got VexRadio.com. Shout out to Vex Radio for the platform to keep on doing their thing, so we can keep on doing our thing.
For
real. And I appreciate you having me on the show as usual.
Yeah. And yeah, on that note, take care.
Peace.